Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Justin Fields gives two-word summary on Steelers' struggling offense. In Week 5, quarterback Justin Fields again avoided making the catastrophic mistakes he committed while playing for the Chicago Bears. He's thrown just one interception in 5 games with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But on October 6, the problem was Fields, and the Steelers didn't manage much offense to speak of against the Dallas Cowboys, especially through the air. Although Fields threw 2 touchdown passes, he completed just 15 of 27 passes for 131 yards. He averaged 4.9 yards per attempt and also took 3 sacks. Several things plagued the Steelers' offense in Week 5, including penalties. On one drive in the second quarter, the Steelers gained 12 yards on first and second down but didn't earn a first down because they committed 2 false start penalties before the plays. When asked about whether the self-inflicting wounds on offense were frustrating to Fields and the offense, he kept his answer simple. Most definitely, Fields told the media. Justin Fields speaks to the media after our game against the Cowboys. A week after the Steelers posted their most passing yards of the season versus the Indianapolis Colts, Pittsburgh was again held under 140 passing yards in Week 5. The Steelers have failed to eclipse that passing mark during 3 of their 5 games this season. Fields had a couple notable answers during his post-game press conference early on the morning of October 7. Other than his quick response to his frustration, he tried to downplay the idea that the Steelers don't have an offensive identity. Then when asked, as a follow-up question, what that identity is, Fields was unable to name it. "I think we have an identity, I just don't know what it is," Fields told the media. "I've never heard necessarily an option for an identity. I think we ran the ball well today. Like I said, I think we just missed shots and shot ourselves in the foot again. So, I don't think we're one of those teams looking for an identity. I think we know who we are. We're a team that predicates on running the football, staying on schedule on first and second down and then executing on third down. But we just didn't get the job done. So, I don't know the words necessarily to label the identity. But those are some intangibles and characteristics of what we are as an offense." To Fields' point, the Steelers rushed for 92 yards. But the Cowboys outgained the Steelers on the ground, and that was one of the closer yardage statistics in the game. Coming into Week 5, the Cowboys were ranked last in rushing. The Steelers were 11th. But Dallas' ability to hit in the passing game appeared to open up the run as the game went. The Steelers were not able to capitalize on passing opportunities down the field. Overall, the Cowboys outgained the Steelers 445 to 226. Dallas almost averaged 2 more yards per play than Pittsburgh. The Cowboys were also 9 for 15 on third down, while the Steelers converted only 3 of 12 third down attempts. The Steelers nearly beat the Cowboys thanks to 3 takeaways on defense. The Cowboys also had plenty of instances of self-inflicted wounds, as they committed 11 penalties. But that really only added to the Steelers' frustrations. Sunday night was only Pittsburgh's 7th loss under Mike Tomlin when the defense forced 3 takeaways. Under Mike Tomlin, the #Steelers are now 50-7 when forcing 3 turnovers in a game. The Steelers also became just the 20th team since 2007 to lose to a team that committed 3 turnovers and 11 fouls. Since 2007 and entering Week 5, teams who commit 11 penalties and turn the ball over at least 3 times are 19-102-1. That's a 16% winning percentage. Add Dallas to the win column tonight. #Steelers. The Steelers will look to bounce back next week on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike Tomlin explains Steelers seemingly benching George Pickens versus Cowboys. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens appeared to be manifesting a huge performance in Week 5, with the message "open, expletive," always written on his eye black. Unfortunately, that was not the case as the game progressed and the Steelers star finished with just 26 receiving yards against the Dallas Cowboys. Although, the real head-scratcher after Pittsburgh's 20-17 loss was Pickens' snap count, which appeared to be limited by the coaching staff on Sunday night. "We just wanted to kind of minimize his reps in an effort to get more productivity," Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said after the game, addressing a question on Pickens' usage, or lack thereof. Coach Tomlin speaks to the media after our game against the Cowboys. "We're just trying to rep manage in terms of the totality of the big picture," he continued. Pickens wasn't less of a focal point in terms of our intentions of what we wanted to do offensively, but we did want to cut his reps a little bit in an effort to get higher quality play. When a follow-up question asked if the Steelers coaching staff felt Pickens wasn't playing up to the quality that he should have been, Tomlin compared the situation to the rotational usage of veteran defensive lineman Cameron Hayward, stating that the wideout's time on the bench was no different from that. Tomlin stressed that there is no underlying story when it comes to Pickens. Per Steelers Depot, Pickens played 34 of 58 snaps against the Cowboys, while fellow wide receiver Van Jefferson was on the field for 47 of 58 offensive snaps. During the second half, Pickens inexplicably spent an entire offensive drive on the bench. As you can imagine, fans and analysts were not too thrilled with Pickens sitting out, considering he's the most talented wide receiver the Steelers have by wide margin. "If you're going to bench George Pickens with this WR core, I can't help you," behind the steel curtain editor Kate Magdziuk weighed in on X. "Discipline him after the game, we got 4-1 to do." After the loss, others criticized Tomlin for his response on the matter. "The George Pickens explanation is absolutely terrible," one fan wrote. "We wanted to cut his reps too in an effort to get more productivity." While another Pittsburgh supporter commented, "I'm guessing he's in Tomlin's doghouse and Tomlin just made that up. No reason for your best and damn near only WR to play limited snaps." Finally, one fan appeared to side with the Steelers' actions, but not Tomlin's explanation. Pittsburgh Steelers suffer 2 more injuries and loss to Cowboys. The Pittsburgh Steelers suffered 2 more injuries against the Dallas Cowboys in their 20-17 loss. Outside linebackers Nick Herbig and DeMarvin Leal each went down in the second half of the game. Herbig suffered a hamstring injury and Leal is dealing with a neck injury. Neither returned to the game. With those injuries, the Steelers were down to just TJ Watt and Jeremiah Moon. The Steelers have outside linebackers Eku Leota and Ade Ogundeji on the practice squad. Another starting outside linebacker, Alex Highsmith, has a groin injury and is expected to be sidelined for another game. Pittsburgh could call up another player or sign someone from the outside. Head coach Mike Tomlin did not mention defensive lineman Larry Ogunjobi in the post-game press conference, but he exited the game and was standing on the sideline in a ball cap for the majority of the second half. He came into the game questionable with a groin injury. The Steelers went with Keanu Benton and more Montravius Adams instead, with Ogunjobi banged up during the game. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of DeMarvin Leal? Leave your opinion in the comments.